So previously we did a 10-part video series for home sellers on the 10 biggest mistakes that home sellers make and how you can avoid them. And we received many requests from home buyers asking us what they should know when buying a property. Hi, this is 𝐿𝐴𝑥 from Home of the Elites and welcome back to another episode of Always Ask Alex. So previously we did a 10-part video series for home sellers on the 10 biggest mistakes that home sellers make and how you can avoid them. And we received many requests from home buyers asking us what they should know when buying a property. So we took a bit of time and ran through our 30 years of sales records to identify the most common and critical challenges for home buyers. Just a quick intro for those of you watching our video for the very first time. I've been in the real estate business since 1992 and have been featured on Channel News Asia, FM938 Live, the Straits Times, Business Times, 𝐷𝐴𝐡𝐴, and many other media sharing something that I'm very passionate about, and that is real estate. I have also personally trained thousands of real estate agents when I was the trainer for two of the largest real estate agencies in Singapore. Over the years, I have met many home buyers who shared their disappointment after missing out on their ideal property and ended up buying their second best choice. When I heard their story, I realized some of these issues could have easily been avoided. Also, in a real estate transaction, we often hear the phrase, buyer beware, caveat emptor. What does this mean and how will this affect you as a home buyer? In today's video, we will share the 9 critical tips for home buyers to secure your dream home. Before we start, I would like to invite you to follow and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to turn on your notification and you will never ever miss any of our videos again. And as always, we promise you this one thing, and that is to share our unbiased opinion to help you make the right decision when it comes to buying, selling, or investing in your property. So feel free to send us your questions. So what does buyer beware, caveat emptor mean for you as home buyers? Caveat emptor is a Latin phrase that translates to let the buyer beware. In real estate transactions, this simply tells you that you are buying a property that is sold as is where is, and the buyer basically gets what they get, even if it has major flaws. If unknown problems turn up after the sale, the seller is not responsible for them. It sounds scary, doesn't it? Well, no worries. After knowing the 9 critical tips today, you will know how to steer away from such negative experience when buying your dream home. In this video, we will cover tip number 1 to number 3 so that it will be easier for you to digest. But do look out for our second video for tip number 4 to number 6. So let's get started with tip number 1. Okay, so for tip number 1, you need to have a clear goal. Why is that so? Well, we have heard of the saying buyer's remorse, and if you make a wrong purchase, unfortunately, you will not be able to sell your property until 3 years later, or unless you are prepared to pay seller's stamp duties. Unless you are single. Otherwise, it is important to discuss and identify with your family members what is a need and what is a want. Need are something that is a must-have. For example, if you have young children who's dependent on public transport, you need to be near the main road. You need to be near the public amenities. And what is wants? Well, some people say, I want to be near a supermarket. But the truth is, they only do their grocery shopping once a week. So it is always important to know what is your need and your wants. By the way, you shouldn't set too many filters as well. I'll give you one example. I have met a customer who wanted to buy a landed property. To be very specific, they wanted a corner semi-detached house. They prefer to rebuild and they specifically want this estate. But here is the problem. Being a small landed estate with less than 100 units, trying to buy a corner house that is old and for rebuilding is a challenge. It is also important to know what is the price range that you are comfortable to work within. I always believe that buying a property should be a happy event and not stressful. But I've seen some family who bought more than what they are comfortable with and they are struggling with the monthly repayment. So that is not a very good choice, isn't it? The next thing to consider is timeline. If you are doing an outright purchase, that's quite straightforward. But if you are doing a back-to-back sale, then you have to be very careful. You have to make sure the funds from the sale of your property is back into your account, as well as the CPF, and time it right so that you'll be released to the next property that you're buying. You also have to take into consideration the day you take possession, the time to renovate the house, and the time to move in. Now let's talk about tip number 2, knowing your facts. Why is it important that you must know your facts? Some time back, I met a retired couple in their 70s. They sold their landed property and moved into a 2-bedroom condo. But less than a year later, they're trying to offload that condo. What do you think is the reason? When they bought the 2-bedroom condo, they forgot to find out what is the monthly maintenance fee. And it turns out that they are paying more than $800 every month just for maintenance. And to make things worse, they are in their 70s and they don't use the facilities at all. So this is the thing that you need to understand about small, medium, and large development. Every project has its pros and cons. For smaller development, you probably get more privacy, but the facilities may not be as complete as the larger developments, and possibly a higher maintenance cost as well. For mid-size and larger development, definitely you get more facilities and probably a lower maintenance fee as well. But you may not get the privacy you want, as there could be 300 units, 400 units, or even some of the mega projects has more than 1,500 units. So definitely, you will compromise on your privacy. Oh yes, before I forget, I know some of you are buying a property to be within 1 kilometer to a reputable primary school for your children. And this is one thing that I need to highlight. Not all the blocks within a condo development are within 1 kilometer. I'll give you 2 examples, Leiden Residences and Somerville Park. Both developments have a few blocks, but some blocks are within 1 km to Nanyang Primary, and there are also a few other blocks within the development that is outside the 1 km radius. So I'm sure you don't want to make the mistake of buying a property just outside the 1 kilometer radius of your preferred school. Okay, so now we're going to talk about tip number 3, which is to get a buyer's agent to represent you. There are pros and cons about getting an agent to serve you. First, let's talk about the pros. When you hire the right person, he or she can give you all the critical facts that will help you make the right decision or even negotiate the price down for you. But the truth is, we humans are kind and will always give this opportunity to a friend or a relative who is a real estate salesperson. Nothing wrong with that if the salesperson is familiar and well-versed with the property transactions of the particular type of property that you are looking to buy. But if he or she is not familiar, you will find yourself getting into this situation, which is easy to hire, difficult to fire. Some sellers' agents refuse to work with buyer's agent because they want to earn the full commission. So potentially, that could be another thing to deal with. Well, we have come to the end of this video, and watch out for our tip number 4 to number 6 in our next video. And as always, we encourage you to send us any questions that you would like to find out. Or if you reckon it's easier to call us, you can reach us at 9780-0000. This is 𝐷𝐿𝑥 Chua from Home of the Elites. Until we meet again, you stay safe for now.